I think eBay's after me. Or are they? I'm going to talk to you about my situation on the other side, so without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy, and you know, I make a lot of these videos. Not all the time have I made videos like this. Maybe in the past I have, but this is more of me just telling you what I'm dealing with, and hopefully I can get some feedback from you guys. Give me your thoughts. You know, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm just all screwed up here. Maybe I'm wrong in many ways, or maybe I'm right. But I want your opinion on this. So here's what's going on. I have received multiple messages from eBay over the last month since I've been living in this house, and it's like instantaneous. Like you guys have heard, like when I had that soccer ball, that hover soccer ball, I had like a 3-pack. This is like a little kid's toy. I guess you kick it and it glides along the ground. Okay, it was removed due to a recall issue or eBay's safety policy. And of course, I'm like, well, what's going on here? I checked. They had dozens of these things being sold, and mine was taken down. So, as you guys recall, maybe you don't, I called them at that time, and they said that, well, it is because it thinks your item is a hoverboard. Well, there's no word board at all in my listing or my title. And they stated that there's bots that are constantly looking for listings, yet they just picked my particular listing out of the dozens of the same item that was up for sale. And there's even hoverboards on eBay currently for sale. So, you know, they said, well, don't list it the same way. You can relist it, you just can't use the word hover. And that kind of defeats the purpose. If the word hover is in the title, it is what it is, then there's a big problem with that. So I didn't relist it. But it just made me feel like, well, why are these other listings being allowed to sell their item with no problem, but yet because my title has the word hover and theirs still does, I don't know what it is. So I kind of just wrote it off, didn't bother to try to relist the item. Fast forward about a week later, I get a message from eBay stating I violated the brand Vero policy. It was one of these garage lights that I received in my pallet, the kind that kind of branches open. I wish I had a photo to show you. Maybe I'll try to add it to this video. And the name on the title on the package is Beyond Bright. Now this happens to be one of those as seen on TV brands. You guys got to avoid listing them because they are going to come after you. And that was removed due to a Vero policy, not knowing that I can't use the term Beyond Bright because that's actually part of the title on the package itself. Now, mind you, there's still other people that were selling this item at that time, and it was literally within, I would say, a 12-hour period after I posted it. And I just wrote it off. I said, okay, fine, it is what it is. Lesson learned. Be careful with the as seen on TV stuff and just move on. Okay, another warning given. So fast forward to a few days ago, and I have this, it's just a 3-pack of these little wart remover stuff. They're brand new. They're in the pallet that I received. The expiration date was still good. There's 3 packs, you know. And I was selling them as a lot of 3. Took very good photos, all the boxes, all the sides of the boxes, you know, to see what the information is. I posted the information from the packaging onto the listing itself so that they know what they're buying. And within hours, it was removed under the guise of violating eBay's over-the-counter prescription policy. Okay, now here's the deal. This is just a generic brand. It's not a prescription deal. It's an over-the-counter. It's an Amazon brand type of thing. So anyone can buy it. And I'm sure that there's many right now on eBay buying the same item as we speak. Yet mine was pulled down. Okay, others were allowed to remain. I let it go. I'm like, okay, fine. Not even going to bother with it. Just going to move on. Keep pushing forward. Okay, now that's, over time, now it's been all these different messages and takedowns from eBay. And then just yesterday, I posted this. It's Proactive. Okay, anybody knows what Proactive is? It's a new set of 3. It's a 3-pack. As you can see, it has the seal. Okay, it has the plastic seal on the cap. Okay, right? Another one, same deal. Plastic seal on the cap. Proactive. And then this one, it's a the only one that's even put into a box, and that's common. There's other people selling this 3-pack. And not sure if you can read this or not, but I'll put it up close. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But it has an expiration date of 7 July of 2024. That's less than 2 years away. So there's nothing wrong with this. And of course, before I list anything, I'm looking to see, hey, are other people listing this same item on eBay? So go on to eBay, and there's probably about 24 different sellers that are selling it, and this is sold quite a few times within the last 90 days. So it's about a $20 set, and I think I was looking to price it like $22.99, and with my discounts, my coupons, my markdown sales, and to see what happens, right? Within hours, it was pulled down under the eBay prescription policy again. So that's warning number 2. Problem I have is this. It seems too convenient that these things are being pulled down as quickly as they are, while others have items that are been sitting there. These are none of them, except for maybe 1 or 2, had a new listing caption on the listing, attached to the listing, stating that it was a new listing. And so what is it that's causing eBay to flag my account for anything like a hoverboard that's not a hoverboard, Proactive set, like everyone's selling a Proactive set? Now, I did call eBay because I said, you know what, 5 times enough is enough. At some point, they're going to get enough on me to close down my account, maybe suspend me for a few days, and maybe take further action. Now, I don't have a history of this kind of thing. I think you guys have seen videos from me. I'll get a Vero here and a Vero there every once in a while. And I do sell health and beauty, and I don't get prescription violation notifications like this. So I called eBay. Now, of course, I'm cringing inside because I don't know who I'm going to be able to have a conversation with, because I'm thinking of Philippines and palm trees at this point. I was able to get a representative in the United States, and I forget the actual name of the department, but they were in the right department that I needed, so that's good. I laid out my case just for this particular item, and I said, hey, look, what's going on here? What did I do wrong? Why is my item being pulled, but everyone else's is not? And he tried to tell me that, well, we have a third party. It's not a bot. He didn't tell me there was a bot. He said there's a third party, an outsourced entity, like a company, that they go in and look at the listings, and if anything's violated that they see, they send eBay a message, and eBay removes it. That was his understanding, and that's how he explained it to me. So again, I was like, well, why did this get removed and the other ones weren't? He's like, well, you can't really look at it that way. You can't look at why everyone else is being allowed to and you're not. I said, well, it's becoming to be a pattern. And I have a sneaky suspicion. Now, maybe this is me overreacting, and this is where you guys come in. I've been critical of eBay, and just telling the truth. This is how I feel about eBay. And like I told the guy, look, I want eBay to succeed, but I'm critical of eBay on my YouTube channel, and I just put it out there because I want to get to the bottom of why they are pulling my items and not other people. They're pulling it all down. Everyone is selling this particular item. Then awesome, right? It just is what it is. We all got pulled down, and we went around and around. And he said, well, it's because you didn't disclose the active ingredient, the prescription strength ingredient, even though it's an over-the-counter product. you didn't disclose the percentage of whatever that ingredient is. I think it's 0.1%, whatever, something acid. You didn't put that in the listing. I said, well, I'm looking at it right now. I've gone through about 5 to 10 of these. Most sellers aren't even putting a description, an item description at all, aside from what defaults with the title. So again, you're asking me to do something that you're not requiring any of these other sellers to do, but I'll comply. I said, so if I list this item, will I be able to sell it if I add whatever information you're asking me to? Well, I'm not saying that. You shouldn't relist this at all, because you could face getting it pulled down, and it gets escalated beyond just a warning. Okay, fine. So I'll put it aside. I won't relist it. There's nothing wrong with this set. It's a perfectly good kit. Maybe I'll try to sell it somewhere else. But my question to him was, when does it end? Never had really this issue up until now. I know you're doing what they're telling you to do, but who can I speak to at this point? Because look, I just want to sell my items. This is what I do. I'm not trying to violate your policies, but I don't want to stumble into a trap either. So please help me figure out how I can avoid this in the future. Isn't that what eBay wants anyway? So after some conversation, puts me on hold, communicating with his supervisor, they declined to take the call and state they were going to call me back. And he said, maybe a couple hours, but it may be tomorrow. Well, here we are. It's been past a couple hours, and it's tomorrow, and still no call back. And you're seeing my surprise face right now. I just don't know what's going on here, guys. And the thing is, I'm very critical of eBay, right? But it's not in a malicious way. Just being honest. That's what this channel is about. And if eBay you're watching, you know what? You have to learn to accept criticism, okay? Get beyond, if you want people to get beyond what you did to the Steiners, and that might be a low blow, but it's the facts. If you want sellers to forget how malicious eBay has been to sellers who have disagreed with you in the past, you got to start doing right by the sellers. And that goes along with communication, helping me understand as a seller what I did wrong, so what I can avoid doing that again in the future. So here I am waiting for that callback. But in the meantime, before making this video, I received a notification from eBay, and the message reads, your listing has been restored. And it says it now appears as an ended item. To relist your item, click the relist link in the listing. The listing will restart automatically. And if it goes on to say if there are any bidders, it wasn't an auction, so I'll forget about that. And we're sorry for the inconvenience this has caused you. Now, what am I supposed to think about this? The rep yesterday told me don't bother listing it again so that you can avoid having this being a suspension and not just a warning. Does this validate me listing it again? And if I list it again, this third-party company who's not privy to this communication that eBay sent me reports me, it gets taken down again, and now we're dealing with a suspension, and now I'm fighting to get that suspension lifted due to this notice, and yet in the meantime my items aren't being seen by buyers, and it's a $20 item. So the answer to my own question is I'm probably not going to even bother relisting it, because I know how the left hand and the right hand communicated eBay, and it would be a misunderstanding that whomever is looking over my account, and I'm convinced pretty much at this point that someone's looking at my account, they're reviewing my account actively as I list, and that one person is sending, ratting me off to eBay, the powers that be. Wouldn't it be a little bit more productive to have that same whomever is looking at accounts, and I'm sure mine's not the only one that's being looked at, start looking at items on eBay and just start pulling them down in mass. Take down the hoverboards, okay, so that the hover soccer balls don't get thrown out of the wash. Start taking out items that shouldn't be sold on eBay. If they're talking about the whole hoverboard issue being a product safety issue, then deal with the safety issue. Take down the hoverboards and the other items that have had factory recalls, and not just by seller. This seller, that seller, this seller, and other sellers get to have their items listed up for sale. That could be posing the very risks that you're trying to avoid. Same thing with the prescription policy. Needs to be very clear. Now, this particular rep tried to tell me that the fact that I didn't have the ingredients listed in the item description was, a basis for them to take it down. Yet, I just got this email saying that they've restored the listing. All I have to do is go and relaunch it. So what gives here? And I guess, I may be overreacting, okay? Maybe it's just a comedy of errors that's happened to me over the last month, and it's just a normal thing, and I just need to get over myself, okay? But that's why I pose it to you guys. What do you guys think? How would you feel if you kept getting things like this, and only when you requested to speak to a supervisor about it do you get an email back? Now, I realize this is probably my phone call, this email, okay? I'm probably not going to get a phone call. This is probably the supervisor saying, yeah, he's right, and he shouldn't have had this taken down. Let's just go and reinstate it. I won't even bother calling him back. He's happy, I'm happy, I don't have to deal with this guy. But again, it doesn't get to the root of my concern by them not calling me back. When does this end? Every item I'm listing now, I'm getting really kind of paranoid, and I don't want a suspension on my account, okay? I have a pretty good account. This is my livelihood, and even taking 3 days of sales away from me is not going to be fun. So I just wanted to report this incident to you guys. Let you decide if I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm acting in a rational way. Most rational people would feel this way about eBay treating them this way. But eBay, if you're out there, enough is enough. Look, I'm just here to make a living. I'm not here to ruin you. I want you to succeed. I want eBay to succeed. This is how, if sellers out here are happy with your product, buyers come to the site and are happy with the product being sold, guess what? You grow as a business because more sellers will come to the platform and stay on your platform. Start doing right by your sellers. Stop harassing your sellers that are critical of you, because we want you to, it's a tough love criticism for me that I even bring this stuff up on my videos. I hope someone out there is watching from eBay. All I want you to do is succeed. And through my criticism, guess what? If no one else is criticizing eBay out there, then you guys think you're doing everything right. That is the furthest thing from the truth. There's a lot you guys have to improve on, and you got to start by accepting criticism and getting your act together. I want your opinion. What do you think? Comment down below. Honest opinion, I don't care. If you like me or not, hey, you can, as long as you're respectable, you can put something down there if you think I'm out of my mind. I just wanted to put that out there. Maybe you're going through the same experience or have gone through the same experience. How did that work out for you? Do me a favor, if you enjoy this type of video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, hit that notification bell so when I go live or make a video just out of thin air like this, you're going to be notified when it happens. So after creating the first part of this video, I was in contact with eBay, and I have an update to this story, and that is eBay is reviewing the other cases, the wart remover issue where it's the same, it was taken down for the same reason as the Proactive was, and also the hover ball, the hover soccer ball is being reviewed, because even in the policy in that document it was talking about a hoverboard and not something that may have a similar name but is not the same item. Something should be communicated to me here within 24 to 48 hours. And see, here's the moral of the story when it comes to that. Now, a lot of you might say, why are you wasting your time? There's other things you could be doing than spending what took me 30 minutes to get that resolved over the phone. And you don't want warnings like that, messages from eBay, which are warnings, hanging over your head, because I think eBay gives you like 3 chances to get it right before they start suspending things. And I don't want that hanging over my head, because there might be something down the road that might be overlooked by me. Jen is helping me out again a little bit, and maybe she overlooks that, and it's now an account suspension. So I want all that removed. I don't want any defects on my account. Not saying it's going to hurt my sales or the algorithm. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know that. But the bottom line is someone's escalating these claims. And in 3 of the cases out of the 5 I've received, and there's 2 that are coming in as a counterfeit claim, like the 3 earbuds that were removed because of a counterfeit claim. Those aren't counterfeits, but you know what? I'll just not list those items again. But the 3 out of the 5 are being removed because I followed up on it. And someone is starting this process against me. So for me, I definitely still feel that eBay hates me. Again, I don't get invites to the seller check-ins and stuff like that like I used to. So something's up, but then again, like I said, maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you guys can put the reasons down below. Thought I'd give you the update to give you some resolution to this situation. Another update, on a good note, received an update from the liquidation company. I'll put the video above me. Well, guess what? I got most of my money back. $400 is coming back to me because I made the case through all the photos and my explanation of the problem as to why these items should never have even been sold to anyone to begin with, let alone donated. So check out that video to see what I'm talking about, but I did get a $400 refund on my latest liquidation disaster, and it turned out it's really not that much of a disaster. So guys, dealing with eBay, dealing with these type of notifications, dealing with your item being removed, receiving warnings for violating various listing policies, and eventually being suspended is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent remainder of your week, and you will hear from me very soon.